Today on Dirt Road Cred, we're gonna test out $1,000 worth of headlights we bought on Amazon, and let's see if they're good or are they junk. Right away, I want to give a disclaimer. We are, fully connected with Diode Dynamics. They're our go-to for all of our lighting on our vehicles. However, there are a lot of other options out there. So while we will be running Diode Dynamics on our vehicles, there's a lot of cool options that we're going to check out today. I did want to lay down some of the ground rules though for what we're going to be testing. We've got a good variety of headlights. So we've got some that are on the cheaper side, some in the mid-range, some are USA made, and some really cool ones I've never seen. But we're going to go over a couple things. And the first one is the form. So what the actual headlight looks like in the vehicle, how the daytime running lights look, what it looks like on the inside, and does this kind of look like a nice headlight on the front of your Jeep? The second thing we're going to go over is the functionality. So form and then function. How does the headlight perform? What does it look like just on the DRL, and then how does it shoot down the street? We're going to pull the Jeep out after each one, shine it down the street, put on the low beams, put on the high beams, and kind of see how that looks. And then maybe at the end of that, I'll give my opinion on after I've installed it, kind of played with it a little bit, and then saw it on the street. How do I feel about that specific light? So before we get started, a lot of the headlights that we're going to be using today will need this adapter here. Now, this T adapter is actually pretty neat. It's another thing I found on Amazon. This basically gives you a running light power to the headlights or other accessories in the front of your Jeep. So if you guys have been wanting to run things like the halos on these aftermarket headlights, you want to put some amber turn signals or amber running lights in the front, or just looking to add something that goes on with that running light, this is the T adapter that you need. So this plugs in on the driver's side fender flare. So this is the fender flare wiring, and then gives you two positive outlets or ways to connect a running light to it. Now it's also nice because these disconnect up here so you can pull them apart. They are fused, so if you overload it, you're not going to damage anything. And it's just a quick T harness that plugs in. But I figure even if you're not installing headlights and you're looking for something to get a 12-volt running power light out of, this is the perfect way to do it. Everything's going to be linked down below too, so don't worry. So first one up to bat is a set of TrueMod's 9-inch drop-in headlights. Now the reason we chose these is while I was going through the old Amazons, this one actually had like the highest review for a drop-in headlight. Now it had something like 167 reviews, and they were between 4.6 and 4.7 star average. In my opinion, that's a lot of reviews for a good average here. They looked pretty stout too when I saw them, so they look like nice versions of headlights. Now these are, if you pull them out, they are a 9-inch, so you don't need any sort of adapter. But if you kind of look here, it looks like they used an adapter plate onto the back. But the nice thing with this is they are adjustable too. So this is going to give your vertical adjustment here, so you're up and down, and then horizontal adjustment as well. So Ryan's having some issues with his where we didn't adjust them yet and they're blinding the heck out of people. So with these, they are adjustable. They're direct plug and play. So they've got the 4-pin here, and then this extra wire is for your backlight or your halos. Now the nice thing with this set, so we just talked about that harness. I've got the harness installed. This one actually includes one. So we do have a harness that came with it. It's gonna go with a mini fuse and then gives you 2 outlets there for your daytime running lights. I think it's got a nice ring on there. They kind of look OE style. Like that was the first thing you said. They do look like the OEM. They have some differences though. They're not OE, but they're only $264. So form, let's talk about the form first. And your 24 grill works. So let's close the hood. They look nice. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is a good looking light. Now with this side, I told you I adapted that T harness so I could run those daytime running lights. I want to go inside and I'll show the daytime running lights on just this side. I didn't do the full wiring, but you will get the effect. So let's show that first. That's bright.
Kind of a ring. Yeah, it looks good.
So these are very similar to the factory Rubicon lights and the factory LEDs. They have that daytime running light. I don't think they're as bright as this though. Let me shut off the lights in our shop, Ryan. Yeah, that's, you guys probably won't get the full effect on camera. They're bright though. All right guys, so let's turn on the headlights here. So there's low beams, and I can see on the wall behind Ryan, they're pretty bright. High beams go on as well. Form on these lights, I would give it a pretty high rating on these. They feel nice. They have horizontal and vertical adjusters to help get it dialed in if your Jeep is lifted. Let's check out the cutoff line on the beams. So Ryan, why don't you turn on the low beam? Oh, there you go. Yeah, turn it all the way on. There you go. So nice cutoff. You can see a crisper cutoff on the top line too. So that's kind of what we're looking for right here, a nice crisp cutoff line. This is a standard garage door, so it's about 3 foot tall here. But that's a nice cutoff line on there, so we could adjust that. Let's check the high beams. Ryan, you want to flash those or just put them on? Yeah, so high beams are kind of a mix of a different type of the bulb style. So it looks like the low beam is a projector, the high beam might just be a typical LED, but definitely gives it some more output, a little bit higher there. That low beam is very nice, and outside they're really bright. very good contender right here for the first one. And with every test, we're just gonna pull it out into the backyard here, into the property, take a little turn, and we're just gonna shoot it down the yard a little bit. And I put my Jeep out for reference, just so we can see what the beam looks like. But there you go. So as you can see, we've got some trees down there. Those are about, I would say about 6 foot tall, but my Jeep is off to the corner too, Ryan. So low beam here, pretty good flood for a low beam. And then we'll do the high beam.
That's not bad.
Definitely brave for a high beam.
Yeah.
And it's kind of hard to test lights, like to get a good shot of what a light looks like. But you can see the shed over there at the neighbors. That's, you know, probably 40 yards away. And we can see a shed way down there. That's some pretty good light output there. Pretty crisp too. You can see some good patterns here on the yard. It's not like fluttery or kind of like starburst. It's very clean. So these look good. Functionality, very well. So let's back it in and throw another set on. So in order to save some cash for the next few lights, actually the rest of the lights that we're gonna try out, they are all 7-inch LED headlights. Now the neat thing about a 7-inch LED headlight is that they are practically on every vehicle out there. So a lot of vehicles, including Harleys, trash trucks, the military vehicles, they've used 7-inch round headlights for a long, long time, meaning that they're very affordable and they have a lot of unique options. Now these headlight adapters can be found on Amazon, and we found some that are built out of stainless and include the proper wiring harness adapter. So this goes from your 4-pin connector to the 3-pin on an H4 7-inch headlight. Now we did find that these are gonna work very well, and they're gonna be affordable because these brackets are only about 40 bucks for the pair. And from the looks of it, Ryan, these look exactly like the backside of those drop-in headlights. Like this literally looks like they just took that, put another headlight on it, and ran it. And I think that's what a lot of those Amazon headlights are doing. They're taking these, putting theirs already in, and then just saying, look, it's a plug-and-play headlight, when in reality, it's just this bracket. So one big thing I was just telling Ryan, I just noticed about these adapters here, if you guys are thinking about running these, they have the adjustment screws on the outside. This is a big deal for me because a lot of aftermarket headlights, you have to adjust from behind here, which means you're reaching your hand into, look at all this stuff right here, Ryan. You can't fit your hand in there. I mean, you can't really get there. With this, all I have to do is pull out the 6 push pins on the grill, pop that out, and I can adjust these perfectly and just slap the grill back on. So that's kind of clutch. That's, I'll be honest with you, that's nice. That's a really nice touch. But up next, the LED 7-inch round. These are the Sinoparcel lights. Let's open these up and take a look at them here. Pretty good price point on these. Very similar, 89 bucks. Whoa, Ryan, what are these?
Gloves.
Installation gloves? Are you kidding me? User's manual, just in case we forget how to use them. Got 2 headlights here. So these are a bit interesting. Let's peel them off. These are definitely a lot lighter than the ones that we put on first. A lot lighter. Thinner on the backside. They've got 2 wires coming out, and I believe they have turn signals built into them. So I'll have to kind of see which ones we can tap into. You would have to tap into 2 lights to get these turn signals to work, but these are DOT approved, they're SAE, but I believe those are both turn signals and running lights. So we could wire them up for turn signals. We're just gonna wire them up for running lights to see how those look, or I can play with them and make both of them pop up to show you guys. These ones again come with the H4 to H13 adapter, so you JK guys are covered. For us, we're gonna be using those adapters that already have that plug in it. So let's get these installed and see how they look. All right guys, so we're gonna plug the H4 plug into this one. I have the running lights on the interior of the Jeep already started up, but check this out. So we're gonna show you what these lights look like. See this, okay. Yellow is the turn signal, so this is what kind of a turn signal would look like for you. And then the red is a nice running light. So we don't have the connectors, I don't believe we have connectors for turn signals and running lights. I believe it's just running light on here, so we're gonna connect it to this red one just for visual purposes. But if you guys feel like getting crazy, built-in turn signals here, pretty nice. All right guys, so we've got these installed. I gotta say, they're not hateful. Ryan said the exact same thing off camera. They actually blend pretty well. This is a fully blacked out headlight though, so it matches well with this paint match section on the interior, which Ryan has a 24 grill from Distinction applied. But these do look nice. They look good in here. They look pretty clean, and they're $89. So we skipped right to price, but form of them, I think they look pretty clean. Ryan, what do you think?
They look pretty good.
They don't really protrude. They don't stand out. It's just a nice looking blacked out headlight. Now let's turn on the daytime running light and see how that looks, because that's the second part of the task is what do they function? How do they perform? So I have this one over here wired up just because I wired it up for time's sake, but if you wanted to wire them both up, you could. So that's the daytime running light, and I showed you guys what the turn signal is. I can't keep staring at that because it's super bright. Let's check out what the low beams look like, Ryan. Okay, pretty nice cutoff line. It's just the daytime running light's not gonna work because I don't have it wired. So use the example on this side if you properly wire it. We're running through all these, and if I properly wire all of them, it would take us a very long time. So pop this on. So we got the low beams, high beams. The high beams aren't that good, but it keeps the low beams on with the high beams. There's no like swap. Like I'm looking at the wall and there's a crisp cutoff line, and then when you turn the high beams, it's like a just little thing. So here's the daytime running light just on one headlight, and then here's the low beam. Pretty nice cutoff. Cutoff is good high and low. So there's actually a low cutoff line and a high cutoff line, but this is gonna crack you up. Look at the high beams, ready? It's just like, it leaves the low beam on, it's just like, bam! High beams, got two little dots. And hopefully that wire stays for the running lights. Let's see how it looks. Okay, so Ryan's gonna walk up next to the Jeep. This is not as much power as those first ones we put on. You can kind of tell, I'm sure you can tell off camera.
I mean, you can see the bikini in the first set.
Yeah, this
can't really see the
not as much. And it kind of, if you notice, there's more spots in the lights. I kind of see spots on the floor. So let's do the high beams. What's going on here? The high beams are very like focused. I mean, you can still see that back shed over there. You can still see that.
Kinda.
But not like that first one. That first one, the whole shed over there was lit up, everything. So $80, not hateful. It has built-in turn signals though. That's something the first one didn't have if you wanted to wire that up. Yep. But not as bright. Up next on the table, HWSTAR LED headlights. These are $99. And I will tell you, most of the ones that we're going to review today came with very high reviews. That's why I chose them to try out. Let's open these bad boys up. All right. Take out the foam. Okay, I like this kind of wiring here. It looks nice. Extension wires for DRL to turn signal. So this has a turn signal built into it. Once again, H4 to H13 adapters, and then your plugs here. So they actually show an install here for a JL. And you could, using the extension wire to connect with DRL, new headlights. So they want you to pop the fender off, and you could actually run that up through for the turn signals, or you could buy that T adapter like we have. But Ryan, let's pull one of these out. Let's take a look at this. That's thick. That's a thick boy there. Same kind of housing as the back. Look at that, same kind of thread in. One thing I will tell you guys, Ryan, we just noticed this with another set of headlights. If you use these adapters, the farther this standoff is here, makes it a little bit trickier. The tolerances are very tight with those brackets that go in there, and we did have a set that was about 3/4 of an inch, and it's really hard to get those to fit over. We'll have to see how these go. The rest of them have gone smooth so far. Not a bad looking light. More round, it's got more curvature to the front of it.
Yeah.
This reminds me, the old, like when LEDs first kind of got popular, this was the style. Lower projector like that, 2 side markers, and then the top projector. The DOT approved, IP67 rated, comes with the H4 adapter, and if you guys have a JK, come with another adapter for you. So without further ado, let's get these thrown in, see how they look. So plug and play right in there. We did not get the ones with the turn signals. I cheaped out and didn't get the ones with the turn signals built in. So Ryan, sorry, your Jeep does not have built-in turn signals. The look of them, I think the bigger curvature on there, so overall, like we'll kind of start with that form section, Ryan. Yeah. The form of them, that curve makes it fill that void up a little bit better. That last light that we put on didn't have the curve, like this lens that stuck out a bit, and it kind of didn't fill up this headlight bezel. So this one fills it up. Dad even likes it, he's over in the corner. But yeah, this one looks good. Form, function, why don't we? They don't have daytime running lights, you can option them, but let's turn on the low beams. Oof, they're bright. I can already see on that wall they're a lot brighter than those last lights. Try the high beams here. High beams give like 3 times the amount of that like little dot that the last one did. So, I mean, it should be more. Yeah. This reminds me of the original style LEDs that first came out when 7-inch LED headlights were kind of big, like in the early 2000s. This is the style, the projector style like this. All right guys, let's turn on the low beams. They're bright. What do you think, Ryan? Those are brighter than those last lights. That's a good cutoff line, top and bottom. They're a little wider too. You notice that? They kind of go to the out of the edge of the garage door a little bit more. Crisp cutoff line. High beams, like I told you, let's see. Kind of just a little bit wider than those last ones. You know, they don't give you that center section. The high beams are very narrow on this. And the headlights aren't perfectly adjusted, but we could adjust them if we were gonna keep all these on here. By the looks of it on Ryan, it's not too bad with the beams. Let's take a look. We'll turn her down to the trees here. And let's see what we can see. Okay. Not bad, not bad. A little bit more light than the last ones. It's shooting a little bit further on that right side because it's not fully aligned, but I can see a lot more of my Jeep over there, Ryan. It's definitely some more light out of these than those last ones. Let's turn on the high beams and see how that little wider kind of setup looks. That gives you more light.
Way more light.
Yeah. Yeah, it gives you way more light. We're shooting at that first shed at about...
And what do these cost again?
These are 99 bucks, I think. 80 to 90 without the DRLs. You can add the DRLs if you want. It's a lot more light here in front of your Jeep. The low beam's definitely brighter.
I think I like these a little more than the last pair.
Yeah, me too. I agree. A little bit more light output. I like the look of the last pair, but these fill up your headlight bezels a hell of a lot better.
Yeah.
And it gives you more light, so that's what you want. Once again, these are all LEDs. It's just kind of which are brighter, which is not, and they're 100 bucks, you know. Before we get on to our last few headlights, I wanted to give a shout out to Onyx Offroad, our newest sponsor of the channel. Now, Ryan and I have been using Onyx Offroad for a long time. We absolutely love using the app. For nights like this, when we're installing new headlights, it really helps by finding trails nearby, showing maps offline so we can download the trails and then use them when we're out in the darkness, and then getting access to 615,000 miles of trails throughout the country. Not only can you download it right on your phone, whether it's Android or Apple, but it is also CarPlay and Android Auto compatible. Now, if you are new to this and you want to get an Onyx Offroad subscription, be sure to use the code DRC20, which saves you 20% off of your subscription and also helps your boys here at Dirt Road CRED. Without further ado, let's install some more headlights and have some fun. Here's the one that I've probably been most excited about out of all these, the brand new designed Truck-Lite 7-inch LED headlights. These are projector LED headlights. I have not seen these yet. I've run them on my TJ, my JK, my dad had them on his JK. That was like the epitome of a headlight. Truck-Lite's been out there forever. They're a USA made company. And then the other thing is too, I think they have almost a lifetime warranty on these, but they're used in the military, they're used on trash trucks, they're used on all sorts of heavy duty equipment. They last a lifetime. I mean, these things are pretty durable. These were, I think, $149 for one of them. So 300 bucks for a pair plus the $40 adapters, 340 bucks for USA made Truck-Lite headlights. So let's pop these open because they're pretty neat here. This is the only headlight too that comes with this, Ryan. What am I gonna pull out?
The JK adapter.
Dielectric grease. Hit you with a curveball there. No, because they know that when you're going to use these, you want to make sure the connection is good and sealed up. So you can put these on the H4 connection, seal it up. So dielectric grease there. That's a neat looking light.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Look at the detail when you look in there of that top beam. Like, it's all very detailed.
Oh, yeah. That's nice.
And these are truck lights. I mean, USA made. They look clean. Maybe I have to throw these on the 392. But I think we're going to throw this one just on. Let's throw it on one of the sides because we don't have two of them. We wanted to order one and just test it. So this one we did not order two, but we're gonna plug it in. I've not seen this Truck-Lite configuration lit up, so I'm excited to see how it looks. Got the Truck-Lite brand new LED installed in there. The curvature of that lens really does make a difference with how it fills up the front of the headlight bezel. I do really like this. I mean, I'm a fan of Truck-Lite. They make great products and I do like the quality of them. Plus this just kind of looks more aggressive. It's got a lot more going on in these top beams, but really what it comes down to it is the price. For 350 bucks with that bracket, you can get all of this. It's made in the USA. It has a 3-year warranty. I just read on the box, so definitely some good stuff. I'm gonna go in and pop those low beams on and the high beams, see how they look. It's like very crisp on the wall. It looks good. I mean, on there, it's still got that like dot for the, it's weird because the low beam has a square too, but then the high beam, it like throws off some more light around it. Like see the low beam's got like a square in the middle? That's probably just for alignment too, so we could really dial that in with how spread out they are. All right guys, let's try the low beams. So there's that square I was talking about. There's almost like a rectangular piece in the center there. Mind you, we only have one light in here. So even when we go outside and do that test, there's only one light. Let's look at the high beams on this one. Those are bright. That like center mark of that high beam is very, very bright. Like you can just see, you almost see the room light up with that on. So, I mean, I like these lights. They look nice. And I mean, last test, let's see how just one of them looks outside. I can see Ryan's shadow on the back of the house. So they're pretty bright. There's only one though. That's the only thing. I wish I would have bought two, but when you're spending that much on Amazon. All right, well, they're not as, I can't really judge it as much because there's nothing in the right headlight. Look at how big that low beam square is on the fence. Like that's that square we saw on the garage wall. That almost illuminates like a very centralized spot. Let's try the high beam. That's bright.
I can still get a good idea of what.
That's one too. That's one high beam. Like check that out. Yeah, you can still get a good idea. I think with another one, we probably should have ordered just two, but we ordered a lot of headlights. So the low beam, that square looks really neat. And I think if you would align these properly, that would be very crisp on the highway, going down the highway. All right, guys, we've got two more headlights on the table here. They were the cheapest out of the mix. And Ryan and I both saw these and had to purchase them. One of each, and I think we're gonna leave them on the 392, yeah. Okay, so this one I had to put back in its bag because the box was falling apart. The whole, look at this box in it. That's how it came. Okay.
Nice.
B-O-S-S, boss. Can't make this up. This is for like a Harley because it would be just one. I mean, it is kind of neat. We're probably gonna laugh and then we'll plug it in. It'll be like the brightest one. All right, let's pull this one out. Another H4 to H13 adapter. So that's Jeep stuff. I'm excited. I'm excited now. Check that out.
Sick.
These are both $39. I don't know how the quality is gonna be of them. This is, I think, a multicolor RGB in the skull eyes. And then this one here. Yeah, we're gonna have some fun with these too. All right, guys, so we got just the regular low beams on the Boss lights. These are DOT approved. The other ones I don't think are. All right, let's try our daytime running lights. What does it say? Does it say Boss? Oh, shoot.
Oh, the red, I think.
What is red? Is the Boss logo red?
Oh,
and the ring? That's actually, it's not hateful. I mean, for 39 bucks, and that's DOT. What's this one? Oh, it turn signals. You could do turn signals. So it's got your turn signal. I wanted to like them. I don't know if motorcycle headlights are different, but this is how they fit in the bracket for the 7-inch. So now instead of Boss, it says like Saab, but with the B backwards. I think motorcycles might be like different. I'm sorry. All right, we had fun with this one. Let's go throw the skull in. So once again, well, the last light, this one is not DOT approved either. Skull. Check it out. All right, let's see what there's 3 wires coming off the back. What does that one do? Green skull. Turn signal. Daytime running light. Can you change the color? Oh, you can change it.
sick.
Does it color shift? I gotta see. Is it shifting?
Yeah.
Oh, flashing mode? That's not bad for a motorcycle. This is not DOT approved though. There's like no.
Good for like a Halloween parade.
Halloween parade. Dad actually said it. Shout out, Dad. If you wanted to get these for like a Halloween parade, these would be perfect. For 30 bucks, get a pair of them. Throw them in with the adapters. You could probably shift it to the color you want. Yeah. You could do. They didn't do orange though. Yeah, the one color Halloween orange, not there. Their colors. Is this demo mode or did it just go to red? All right, so we're not gonna show the lighting output of this because it's not even DOT approved, but this is what happens when you let Ryan have a company credit card. Look at that, look at that. Red, blue, green, red, blue, green, red, blue, green. No purple, no orange. On today's viewer rig of the video, we're checking out Alex's two-door JL. Now, Alex didn't send us a ton of specs on this, but what I say on this Jeep is done very well is the homage to the 392 color scheme. Now, Alex has a two-door in the black coloring, and he added on the Extreme Recon fender flares. It looks like the Diode Dynamics side markers in the blackout, and then everything has been changed to bronze on the exterior. So bronze on the bronze on the hood, bronze on the trail rated, bronze Jeep logo, bronze trail rated hooks up front, and then he went with a set of BF Goodrich tires. And I'm not sure what wheels those are, but those look great with the Jeep badging in the center of them. Beautiful looking two-door, and I gotta say, I'm a really big fan of doing that with the bronze on the 392. I actually did it on my 2021 Sarge Green. I swapped all the red on the exterior with bronze, and a good friend, remember when Jordan helped me with that? It looks so much better than the red, and honestly, the bronze just looks great. Even on this black two-door, I think it looks awesome. So he's got next projects. He wants to do a slight lift, dash panels to match the 392 bronze, and probably new grille and steel bumper. Alex, thank you so much for submitting. Beautiful two-door, and we really like the look of that. If you guys want to have a chance at your Jeep being featured, be sure to hit us up through Instagram or send us an email. Honestly, those first set, the drop-in ones, did not perform that badly for $260. I gotta say, I was impressed by some of them, and then others, I was just delightfully, I don't even know what the word is. The boss one and the pumpkin or the skull one at the end really cracked me up. But I gotta say, there is still a market for that. My dad hit it right on the head. Use those for a Halloween parade or something, or just run them on your motorcycle. I don't know, the boss ones work upside down, so we'll figure that out. So we'd love to hear what else you'd like to see us test, because we don't mind spending some cash like this, trying it out and having a good night here in the shop. And that reminds me too, we are starting to film in the shop. We've got lights up, the walls are painted, we're finishing some touches up here, but we're almost ready to go, ready for springtime and get some more installs done. Now, until next time, my name's Matt, and that's Ryan behind the camera, and we want you to get out there and earn yours. That was pretty good.